Welcome everyone to the annual shareholders meeting, the General Assembly of the Shareholders. It's an important day today. This is the day when we present what we have done and meet our shareholders. This year in a digital way, but hopefully next year it will be like it usually is, that we could have the meeting live here in person. And every owner who is interested to join this meeting next year, I invite you to Gothenburg next year when we have it. Hopefully it will not have to be online. Anyway, today is the day when we are summarizing the year that has passed, but we will also look forward a little bit what's coming next. But it's impossible to summarize, to talk about 2020 without talking about the pandemic. The pandemic that hit us with full force during the first quarter 2020. At SmartAid had the effect that we started to be extra careful with our spending, how we wanted to preserve cash. We utilized the Swedish government's short-time furlough program in order so people were working a bit less. That continued from March until October 2020. In October we saw that it was appropriate to start accelerating again. We saw that the market has certainly not been standing still because of the pandemic. On the contrary, we see that there are several things that we want to go on the offensive on the market. So we had a share issue where we raised cash. In October we raised close to 200 million Swedish crowns. And ever since October we have been forging ahead at full speed, and we will continue to do so. Actually, we will continue to increase our rate of investment in this very, very exciting market of driver monitoring system, where we are currently so active. But we will also, there is something going on in the automotive industry when it comes to driver monitoring. Driver monitoring is primarily focused on what is the driver doing. You measure on the driver's face with very high accuracy in order to say if the driver is, for example, drowsy, or if the driver is inattentive or speaking on the phone or doing something else which takes away the attention from the task, which is to drive the car safely. But there is also more going on the inside of the car. So if you widen the field of view a little bit, you can start analyzing all the other stuff that's going on the inside of the car. For example, gestures. For example, if the driver has a seat belt, if there is a forgotten things in the car when the driver leaves the car, if there are seat belts that could be in the way of the airbag, if there is every year there is actually very tragically people who forget their children or their pets in their cars on hot summer days, and sometimes with a tragic outcome. So all these things are also, we think, this is also part of what will happen, the evolution of the measurement inside of the car. I mean, already today you have sensors, all sorts of sensors measuring the outside of the car. You have regular radar sensors, you have cameras looking at the outside, you have laser radar, or LIDAR as it's called, looking on the outside of the car. But also you will have this development on the inside, that you will measure more and more things on the inside of the car. And we see this as a great opportunity for SmartAid. So just as, for example, the first airbags, when they started to come into the, let's say, the premium cars in the late 80s, early 90s, then it didn't take long until more and more airbags were present in the car, that you could have airbags that would protect you from hit your head on the windshield and so on. And the same is going from the interior of the car here, that more and more sensors, more and more cameras will be present inside of the car, And we are starting to see that in the marketplace, and we are starting to develop software now that can do more than the traditional drowsiness, inattention, safety application, which is the starting point when we started, or when this market, the DMS market started approximately 5 years ago. So we think that the history will repeat itself, but in a sense that you will measure the whole interior of the car. And this is something which is important for us looking into the future, is that we will expand our scope of business. And basically what it means is that there will be a bigger value add per car when we are looking at this, new type of software. Very, very interesting, and I am sure that I will have reasons to come back to you more times with regards to this, but already now I can say that the interest from the customers has been really great ever since we showed this new type of technology on CES 1 year ago, or it's actually a little bit more than 1 year ago, because it was in January 2020 that we exhibited at CES and showed to the world for the first time how you are able to combine this interior sensing, this wide field of view, how you combine it with the driver monitoring, which is more zoomed in with higher accuracy, and how you can reap advantages of doing these two things together. So we showed it at CES approximately 14-15 months ago, and we had a huge interest from the customers, many requests for different types of interactions, for pre-development work, for proof of concept work. Then came Corona, of course. So the spring was sort of a, we after CS we came out like with a flying start, but then came Corona, which of course slowed things down, but it didn't slow the speed down to zero. I mean, we still have been able to do a lot of work together with automotive customers during 2020, and also we're continuing to do it in 2021. But we think that the speed will start to pick up again once the pandemic is ceding, and once we have it behind us. And actually we think it's going to be the next big thing to combine these two modalities. So that's basically where we stand right now, that the driver monitoring system part of Smart Eye is growing very, very rapidly, supported by legislation and supported by, also I should say, Euro NCAP, which is a voluntary organization where the automotive industry and the authorities of Europe work together to increase the safety of cars. We see that similar things are happening in the rest of the world. There are tendencies which point in the same direction in the US, in Japan, in China. So we believe that this will go pretty quick from now on, that the technology, that the life-saving technology of DMS is spreading very rapidly. But then we see, when we're talking about the interior sensing and like the next evolution of this, we see that this will happen one more time. So you will first have a big surge of DMS, which is the crucial thing for saving life, and then as a next wave, as a second wave, there will come the interior sensing, where you actually expand and get all these convenience features, you can get all the fun features, you can get all these, also increase the safety of the passengers and so on. So it's a great future. It's a great future that we are looking upon, where the automotive industry is transforming. You have the electrification of the car, and also you have that the car is more and more becoming like a computer on four wheels. So the digitalization of the car and the electrification of the car, it goes hand in hand. And in these two megatrends, also DMS fits in like a hand in a glove, actually. So we're it looks really good. Also, I think it could be pertinent. I mean, we have gone through difficult times now during the last year, like everyone else, of course. But I mean, it's been tough for many. It's been tough on our customers. It's been tough on many of the employees. I mean, most of the people at Smarta haven't really been working at the office now for a year, and everyone is getting used to working from home, and you have all the meetings, you have them online instead of having them in real life. But I think this is like we are being tested now as a society, and we're being tested as a company, and I'm quite convinced that we will come out of these times stronger than what we went in. And also looking at it from the Smarta perspective, this is actually the third crisis that we are passing through. I mean, first when we started the company in '99, just 1 year after we started the company came the Nasdaq bubble crisis, when all tech stocks just plummeted and the valuations went down really a lot in a short time there in the early 2000s. And it became very hard to raise cash for a venture like this, like Smarta. So we had to survive on what we had. We had to really concentrate on low costs, and really we just had to wither out the storm there, and things got better, of course. And then again, the second crisis hit us in 2008 when the Lehman crash happened, and basically it was the same thing all over again, and we withered out the storm and we came out stronger, and I'm sure this will happen this time as well. I mean, we have had a tough year behind us, but we will come out stronger. And why is that? Why is that? Well, it's because a really good idea and a really good technology, if that technologies and ideas time has come, it cannot be stopped by, I say, changes in the overall economy. If there is a crisis, if there is a pandemic, I mean, the world has a need for an advanced, modern transport system. This transport system includes a lot of cars, a lot of buses, a lot of trucks, a lot of vehicles. These vehicles, as it is today, the way the vehicles are designed today, you have a lot of crashes. But what will come is that when this new technology, where DMS and Smarta is part of it, when this new technology has its foothold, you will see that we will transport goods, we will transport people in a much safer way, in a much cleaner way, in a much more sustainable way. And that's the future, I think, for Smarta, to be part of this sustainable revolution that will give us the things that we need without the side effects. So, I'm very proud to be CEO and founder of Smarta. We have managed 2020 amazingly well. We have been able to deliver to our customers. The staff has been amazing, withering out the storm, facing the adversities, doing what's expected of them and more. And I'm also very, very proud of all the new owners who have come in and discovered Smart Eye. So yeah, today is your day. It's the day of the owners to put the board and the management. they should answer to you today. And yeah, this is it, I suppose. I hope to be able to have this speech next year without doing it online, but to actually do it live in front of the owners who have come to our offices in Gothenburg. So thank you.